Creativity changes the everyday. Creativity is beautiful. Creativity is active. Creativity is freedom. Alpha NEX5 debut.
Sony.
So Steve, we had to move there because My Way was blasting in our ears, so we went to a little quieter corner here. But you were about to tell me why why ANZ is so active here in Vanuatu, because the GDP content or the effect that tourism has on the GDP.
Well, it's not just GDP. I mean, tourism, as I said before, makes up nearly 50% of GDP in Vanuatu.
Wow. Okay.
So it's all the infrastructure stuff. So we're not just talking about the resorts. We're talking about the taxis. We're talking about the restaurants and everything else that can make up tourism. So it is such a vital commodity to revenue stream for a country like Vanuatu. Behind that, you are looking at other export industries, for example, like beef, which is another very strong industry.
Yeah, absolutely.
Tourism basically makes up the majority of the revenue stream for a country.
So
like
you're involved in the financing of all strata of the sort of industry that supplies tourism as well. So people forget that in fact it's important for the plumber to be there because he fixes the taps in the hotels, and people think tourism is all about just the hotel or just the restaurant or whatever. So Steve, probably an unfair question to ask you because you've only been here 3 weeks, but what's your feeling about the tourism industry in Vanuatu currently and how it's doing?
Well, as I said before, I've actually been in the Pacific for 3 years, so I was in another country prior to that, so I know the importance of tourism to the Pacific in general. So, how has tourism been going? Well, like anything, in fact, we had a bumper year around the GEC time, because we had people from Australia and New Zealand that probably couldn't afford to go to Europe or places like that. Employment, the job security was really important to them. So they actually started to look at, gee, let's go into the Pacific. With the strengthening of things like the Australian dollar in particular now, we've actually found a lot of that client base now has been looking to say, well, in fact, we can actually afford to go back into Europe and places like that. So, there are some huge challenges around that. So we've gone through some really strong times, basically around the GEC time. So now tourism for us is that we need to repackage ourselves. So it's looking about not just in respect to Vanuatu around Awhati, around Port Vila. We've got to look at the tanners, we've got to look at the Santoses, and actually look at how we package that and how we actually diversify that.
Well, Steve, thank you for your time this evening. I really appreciate it, and thank you for your insights into the economic side of tourism. I used to work for the British government at one time, and we used to be called the Ministry of Fun. But there's a reality there behind it of hard cash. And the industry has a bit of a track record of maybe not being that good sometimes in that regard. But I think with people like ANZ involved and backing the industry here in Vanuatu, we'll do well. And thank you for your time.
Thank you.